It's on.
Hello and welcome to one of the most exciting episodes of Grange TV ever. We have with us where are you from? Ballina, the Ballina bomber, the master of destruction from the East Coast, Mr. Eli Hedges. We have with us, this isn't aggro from Cartoon Connection. This is, as of last week, the greatest Asian grappler from Asia, known to man.
Potentially ever seen.
Yeah, the immortal, the ADCC Trials 2019 winner, Mr. Jacob the Hammer Malkoun. Welcome, Jacob.
How you going, guys?
And with us is actually a really, really big announcement from Rob from this. Rob is the half of, I should say, the second most famous Fab and Rob combination ever after Milli Vanilli. Welcome, Mr. Robert Whittaker, all-round good bloke.
But you see, I think we have a chance to become the most famous group because that group's not getting any more famous anymore.
Well, no, rest in peace. One of them died, but
rest in peace. So I think this is our time. I think we
could take over.
I think we could be the next big thing.
I think they have 150 million views or something on their songs. But
hey, we're just building up.
In fairness, they did lip sync, so we could probably do it. If we lip synced, we could probably do it.
You know what? I'm picturing their luscious hair. That's what I'm picturing.
Shout out to Milli Vanilli. I was a fan. I am still a fan. Also, I got asked today by one of our sponsors to shout them out as well. So massive shout out to our sponsor, Jack Whittaker, for providing us with Robert Whittaker. Thank you, Big Jack.
Yeah, that was a sponsorship. Me. I'm the sponsorship.
He gave us Rob. So that was pretty good. Good work, Jack.
Strong sponsor. Yeah. Been here for years. Been behind us for years.
Doing really good work. Really good work out there. So we have with us Jacob, and in all seriousness, he did win the Abu Dhabi trials in Japan. Yep. So both of you guys went and competed. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and about the relationship you guys have.
Yeah, we've been training for years. When I first met Jacob, it was at PMA, and he was a kid still, like he was a little kid, and I don't know when
he wasn't little.
Yeah, he was never quite little, but he was like a fat kid.
happy.
Very, very happy. You could have faulted, but then I don't know when the transition happened. But then Jacob was just one of the core members of the team. Like it was seamless. I don't know. It was just one moment he was literally the dude just thrown in and fed to the wolves, and then all of a sudden now he's like one of the lead like main sparring partners, main training partners. Like maybe you can elaborate when that happened.
Yeah, I remember when I started. I was still young, about 16. I remember he was fighting CFC still. Who'd you fight? Jesse Juarez?
Jesse Juarez, CFC champion. He's a good fighter, that guy.
No, I was just joking.
No,
he really is a good fighter.
Started,
How'd that fight go?
I don't know, man, I forget.
Cheers, guys.
I remember training a little bit. I was just doing it for
Did you
fun.
help him with his wrestling? Was that because
Nah,
he could have used that help against Jesse Juarez?
No. I was just trying to get fit because I was, as you said, fat kid. But I was happy.
Very happy.
I was happy, and I don't know.
Well, where were you, Fab? Where were you? Because like, if I recall, some people were saying to you, "Why don't you go help Rob with his wrestling? What do you?" And you said, "Fuck Rob."
No, I didn't say that.
I remember that story. You told me that story.
Yeah, they told me that. You know, they told me that Rob's dad was super rich.
He owned a glass company.
He owned a glass company, and everything. That's what they said to me. And for real, and people say, his dad owns a glass company and he just flies in all the best guys from around the world to train with him. and I was like, well, good for them, you know. Like I was genuinely happy for him. And then when I first met Jack and I was talking to him and I said like, oh, so do you own and he goes, no, he has a work at O'Brien's. And I thought, this guy's being humble. And I said, do you own that O'Brien's franchise? And he said, no. He goes, sometimes I do the calls casually. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, fuck, there you go. Never believe what you hear. Yeah. So you and Rob started a PMA together?
I never used to train with him because I was just doing like the classes and stuff. And then about 6-7 months in, just got thrown in, start sparring the boys. we're shark tanking him all the time because he's got his fights coming up. Because no one was really at his level, so we were just shark tanking him. And then I don't know, year after year came, I just started being one of me and David, the main guys.
I can't think of anything worse for you than shark tanks. Like, they have got to be so dangerous.
Yeah, I remember because we used to shark tank him, and he didn't want to go too hard on us, but because...
How old were you then?
Like, probably 17, 18, sparring. It wasn't good, but I used to try my best. We used to spar, but he used to just try to take it easy, then he get annoyed because about 5 of them trying to kill him. So then he started going a bit harder. Yeah.
And so then you... How many fights you had as an amateur?
Had 4.
And
4 fights.
undefeated as an amateur?
I had 3 wins and then 1 draw. But then...
Was the draw the one where you stepped in at like 99 kilos or something?
Nah, it was 113. 24 hours notice.
Do you want to tell that story?
24 hours notice, 113 ringing.
Because these guys were in Thailand and they were training. I don't know, who were you fighting back then?
I don't know. I don't know what was I doing in Thailand.
Clint Hester. I think it was Clint Hester he was fighting. I remember they were in Thailand, him, David and stuff. And then I wasn't training and they came back, I was helping Dave cut weight. And then Henry came into the sauna and he goes, "Do you want to fight tomorrow?" And I go, What do you mean fight? What are you talking about? He goes, "Fight tomorrow." I go, "What weight?" I'm like 100 kilos. He goes, "Oh, a heavyweight, 115 kilos. I go, I thought about it. I go, and he goes, "He's going to give you $1,000. I said, "Oh, all right, then I'll do it. $1,000, why not?" And I went in. I saw, they told Henry, they go, "The guy's not that big, you know. He's not that big, just a guy losing weight." And I see him, he's like 6'4", massive guy.
That's the guy we ran into at the Gap class.
Oh, Sam K.
Yeah, that big
massive guy.
That big,
Shout
big
out
guy.
to Sam K.
Shout out.
And you sparred him at TP as well. And he hurt his back that day. I remember.
Or his rib.
Back. I'm pretty sure it was his back.
Yeah.
But he's a big guy. He's a very big guy.
And I was unfit as well, so I'm sparring him and I had all stitches in my stomach after the first round. Oh, I just jabbed. Because I remember I shot a double leg. It was shit double leg, I'll tell you that much. But I doubled. The guy picked me up and threw me across the cage. Oh, shit, what am I going to do today? Jab and run. That's what I did. But it ended up being a draw. Then I woke up the next day and they changed it on Facebook that he won.
So officially, did you lose or withdraw?
I don't know still. That day it was a draw, and then the next day they said they changed the decision. So I don't know.
He's a good guy, that guy.
He actually is. He's a good guy.
Yeah. And
He
then
wasn't trying to take my head off, but
you had 2 fights then as a pro?
yeah, I have 2 fights, pro MMA and boxing as well. I've had two pro fights.
So you're undefeated?
Yeah, undefeated. Yeah, I was only 2, so
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the trials. What was that like, that experience?
when we were going on the plane, I just kept mucking around. I go, he hooked in the first minute. He hooked first minute. It was
you
good.
were saying to me that the whole trip. Thanks, mate. Thanks to that. I did end up getting hooked. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for that.
Was it in the first minute?
It wasn't. It was in the second minute.
Second round too, but second round.
So it was all right, but yeah, it was a fun bonding trip for like the team because me and Jacob were sitting next to each other. Oh, here's a fun story. Jacob on the way home, like there was no one on the plane, so like you could sit anywhere you want. And then somebody chose to sit at the end of Jacob, like next to Jacob. And Jacob, instead of sitting anywhere else on the plane, sat next to Alex.
So he didn't have a free
So
one.
he didn't have a free one either. And so it was him
When
and
did
Alex.
Alex move?
The whole plane was empty. it was just Jacob and Alex there. Next there. And shout out to the guy on the plane, if you know who I am and you're watching this. Sorry for kicking you in my sleep. I was laying across, like the 4 seaters in the middle. I was taking up 3 of them laying down. To be fair though, I was asleep before I even got there.
How hard were the matches?
I think I had those 2 sides of the draw. I think I was like on the easier side. That was him, it was Rob, Izzy. What's that guy's name?
Harry,
and the guy versus the final on one side. So I had like the bit of an easier draw. But yeah, they want that. The first match was probably the hardest, besides the finals. I had 2 like not so hard, and then the last one was how it was. Yeah,
we'll call that guy Ali, just for
Which
reference. The guy you versed at the end.
The guy from
Ali,
Jordan.
Ali, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just call him
I
Ali.
don't think his name's
Call him
Ali.
Nah, his name was Zaid.
Zaid, yeah,
Zaid,
it was.
yeah.
Zaid.
They're from Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah, so you're now the best grappler in Asia?
Nah, I'm not the best grappler in Asia.
Who beat you?
That's
at
like
ADCC?
empirical evidence that you are.
Like who beat you then?
Nah, there's all different weight classes anyway.
No, but at your weight.
So no one who beat you? If you're not the best.
How much better? How much better are you than, like, say, Craig Jones? Because you've trained.
Nah, I'm better than Craig Jones. That's someone I'm better than. 100%.
Because when I, like, this is a true story for about Craig Jones and Jacob. Craig Jones came to train with us, and Jacob tapped him, I don't know, within a minute.
Easy work.
And Craig wouldn't come back on the mats, and he was pouting like this. And he wouldn't come back. And we had to be like, Craig, come back, and he wouldn't come back.
You're still the best, Craig.
You're still the best in Australia.
You're still the best, man.
And he just wouldn't come back on. And then we had to promise him we wouldn't roll with Jacob no more, and that was the story.
Stayed away from. Nah,
Yeah.
I remember
And all positions start in 50-50.
Yeah.
I remember he subbed us that many times, but there was one time I subbed it. We done that Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
There was like 3 people on his upper body, and I'm on his legs, toe holding him. Told Alex, I subbed him, man.
That was fun.
But just to give an accurate depiction of the level, like someone like Craig Jones at that competition, what would that have been like?
Not fair.
There's no match. It's not fair for anyone.
How good is Craig Jones?
Unreal.
Because that's one of the people you guys train with, and for your fighting and that. How good is someone like Craig
I
Jones?
feel when he's rolling me, like I don't know, like he's rolling it, like he's helping us.
It's like a
rolling like a kid or something.
It's like a Formula One race car going up against a Barina.
Hey, don't shit on Barinas, mate. Got me through uni, buddy.
hey, I'm the Barina. we had a match, and he tapped me in 27 seconds, and my old man's watching me, and he goes, fucking like that. I was like, all right, switch on, Robbie. Tap me in 12 seconds.
Yeah, he done the same to me. Remember the same match? I went in and I got a single leg lock.
You know what's ridiculous? It's like, he's going easy. He's not attacking legs.
Nah, he's not.
The whole time he's not attacking legs for us.
Yeah, that's true. The whole time he was there, like he didn't like just go for the legs much. He was going for the upper body.
Yeah, he wasn't
killed us
attacking
on
legs because it was just not challenging.
Does that feel so? Like, I guess what a lot of people are thinking is, should people put money on you going into the Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, because I think like just mindset, you know, mind above skill,
100%. And aggressiveness.
aggressive.
The aggression's gonna get him.
Aggressive is different. He's scared.
Yeah,
and the subtle headbutts.
Oh, that was a big headbutt.
Beautiful
with at the end.
headbutt.
It's Alex's fault. He's beating me up on the side, screaming.
So, but in fairness though, the level's still high enough. Like, have you seen Jacob's progression in jiu-jitsu?
Oh, it's night and day. He's just getting better. And honestly, he is, you know, to his credit, he is one of the best grapplers in this part of the world. Like, he is. And you know, you try not to look at the draw, but the draw is half the game. You know what I mean? That's half the game. So no, it's yeah, his growth in grappling and on the other planes, like in mixed martial arts, boxing and stuff, has just been, you know, up, and it's just still going up, and yeah, it's just testament to his hard work and training. So congratulations.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your? So you got Alex Pradas. He's the main jiu-jitsu coach out of that gym. But do you want to talk a little bit about the people that have come through and influenced you jiu-jitsu wise?
What do you mean?
Like just other guys, like what experience has been like having guys like Mario Sperry, Sergio Pena?
Yeah, when like Mario Sperry and Sergio Pena and all that come, like the Boria as well, when they come in, like they show us all, just like all YouTube, you see all this fancy stuff, but they just show you like basic stuff what changes like your whole game, you know. Like he will show you one little detail. Like you can show so much things, and you don't learn anything. But like when they show like little details for like basic stuff, if that makes sense, and you learn that, it changes your whole game.
Who in particular?
I think when Sergio Pena came that time, showed us a lot of different stuff, like that crucifix position. Just little.
I lived in that crucifix when we went over to Las Vegas, and I was rolling with Duda with his son.
Yeah.
And his son's like a little guy. He's all American wrestler and like jiu-jitsu, purple belt, biggest sandbagging job I've ever seen in my life. And he just
purple belt.
He's like a gun wrestler.
And
he's all American, all American purple belt.
Yeah, like he put me in a crucifix for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
it was bad. I'd forget he was on my back and go to the shops.
Yeah. Sergio Pena that 2 weeks he came made a big difference.
So what's your training day? What's your day look like?
That's pretty the same as like all the other the same.
Well, just
program,
talk us through your day.
I do
And because you coach as well, so talk us through the whole thing.
Yeah, so in the morning, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do boxing. And then in the morning, about 1 o'clock, and then we come in
It's
down.
the afternoon, you fucking
1
goof.
o'clock in the afternoon, 1 p.m. the dawn.
Yeah.
1 a.m.
We have basketball practice at 12:30, but
We play basketball 12:30 to 1. We box. Then we come to the Grange with Alex and yourself. Do the wrestling and our grappling. And I do the kids wrestling and jiu-jitsu from about 4:30 to 6. We do 2 classes, and then we just coach the jiu-jitsu fundamentals till 9 o'clock. Jiu-jitsu fundamentals, MMA fundamentals.
So your day's pretty much all day on the mats.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll try sneak in a roll when I'm coaching. So I learn a little bit more. You learn from other people as well. But yeah.
How much is that like that immersion type of experience help develop your game by being on the mats all the time as opposed to going in, doing a session, going home?
It helps a lot because your brain's always like just on one thing. And when you coach, even like when you coach like the kids class, you coach them like something about wrestling, and then you think, oh, I should be doing that when I wrestle. You know what I mean? Like inside grip, snapping the head, shooting. And then as well, when you're teaching like classes, you see little details you probably forgot about and you remember. All that little stuff helps. Even when just watching other people roll, you ask them a question, they show you something, and then it helps as well. So yeah, it helps a lot.
Do you feel how much you've improved is testament to the fact that you're also teaching?
I think so. Like teaching as well makes, like coaching helps me train more as well, if that makes sense. So it's not like it helps me not having to go do labouring or get another job instead, you know. So I'm coaching and then I can focus on training full time. Then I coach and I might sneak in another session, you know. It just helps me get better.
I think that's another thing, like people, you know, always talking to new people that are coming through and everything, they're always like, oh, you know, got to find, how am I going to do this around work? And like people forget, like everyone's had to do like shitty jobs and whatnot and combine it. You want to tell us a little bit about your job before working as a...
Yeah, I was at when I finished school, went to uni, and I was working at the markets like 3-4 days a week, Flemington. Wake up like 1, 2 a.m. and finish about 10. Then I'll try to run over, get some training. But when you do that training, then the next day you wake up and you're done. You can't train properly, you know. Even if you're there, your brain's not there.
Yeah,
so it doesn't help.
And Izzy was doing that too. Izzy was doing the garbage. You know, that was and he'd fall asleep in between sessions, like on the lounge, and then get up and go again.
As well, like even probably his brain, like, is not even there sometimes. Well, you know what I mean? You'll be training and half asleep sometimes.
Him, but he can still do it.
Yeah, he still did it.
Sneak in an hour sleep and then go back on the mats.
You can't do it for long, but you can't do it for long. Well, let's discuss some of these fights that have occurred over the weekend.
Yeah, there's been some interesting fights.
Do you want to start?
There's a mad highlight reel finish on last weekend's fight. So
you want to start there?
Where did you want to start?
Oh, I'm just asking.
No, let's just do a Fab once.
Wow.
We'll start.
Do you want to start on this one?
Oh, it's up. Let's start here.
All right, let's go. Let's start with...
Let's start with the bottom one.
No, go down. No, go. Start on Jose Aldo and Volkanovski.
Can I mention this one?
Yeah, we'll start there.
Okay, I'd like to start with Thiago Alves because, no joke, when I was in the house, and just before that, I had seen Thiago Alves fight, and he was without a doubt the one dude, because I was a welterweight back then. He was the one dude I never wanted to come across.
Oh, when you were a welterweight?
Yeah, because I think I forget the fight that he was fighting, but he was super Thiago at that stage, and his leg kicks were crippling. Like he just looked so mean and aggressive and scary. He was the one dude.
How big was he?
Huge. You never seen him back in the day?
No, I saw him
before he fought George.
No, but I never saw him in real life. Did you see him in real life?
No, I never saw him in real life. Just on the screen as well. And he just looked so mean and powerful. It was just like, I don't want to go near you. Big leg kicks.
But this fellow did well though.
He did.
He kept spinning, spin back kicks, big spin back kicks.
Thiago Alves is one of those fighters though. It's like he's had like he had like a real fast rise, and then it was kind of
he had some full on surgeries. He had a surgery like to his. I think I don't want to mess it up, but I think something to do. Do you remember that when he had surgery, something to do with his eye or his brain or something? It was like some full hardcore surgeries. So full opened him up like some real heavy shit. I think now he wants to be a police officer. I'm fucking telling you the truth.
What are you laughing for? The guy,
I'm telling you the truth.
What's he laughing, this guy?
No, it's just, I don't know. It's just funny to me. It's funny. It's like, of all things he could do, he chooses to become a cop.
He wants to be a cop, and he wants to. I think he's working still at ATT or something like that.
Well, did he say he's done after? Like,
I don't know if he said he's done after this, but I mean, like, he looks different to how he used to look, you know.
100%.
And that's one of those things that you talk about as fighters, and I guess we'll save that because, you know, probably going to bring it up as we progress through this card, because Rose Namajunas has spoken about it, Jose Aldo has spoken about it, Anderson Silva now recently has spoken about it. Like, there's about 5 people on that card that have spoken about stopping, you know. And so that's a very interesting conversation I think that we can have as, you know, as we go along.
Like, how old is Thierry Alves?
I'd say he'd be about 34, 35, something like that.
And how many fights do you reckon he's had now? Like, he's had a lot of fights.
Can you click on that just on Thiago?
Yeah, let's see how many fights he had. Because there's a certain like level of tiredness that hits you once you start racking up numbers of fights. Like, it's tiring.
I think like one of the other things is when you get to a certain point in anything in life, like you think once I make this much money, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah,
so
that's a lot, man.
28 fights, 13
fights together.
Yeah, that's insane.
41 fights. Like, and that's like recorded. Who knows how many he's had unrecorded?
No sparring, like
can we go back to the card,
in the day,
please?
Yeah, like
the sparring he would have done
41
back in the
fights.
day.
Yeah.
41 fights.
Imagine that he would have been at ATT when Hector was there, and that would have been a good fight to watch. Him and Hector, like
good light sparring session.
That would have been interesting, man. That would have been crazy. What do you guys think of Aldo and Volkanovski? Congratulations, Volkanovski.
Yeah, congratulations, Alex. To be honest, Jose Aldo didn't really look like he wanted to be there. Like, do you
think it was Alex doing that to him?
I always thought that the game plan for Alex would have been to just pressure on the attack, just much like how he fought Mendes, just very similar to how he fought Mendes, and I thought that would be his best shot at beating Aldo, but I thought Aldo would propose some like heavy Arsenal sort of kicks and strikes to make Alex maybe, you know, give him a bit of a hard time to get in, or give him a bit of a hard time to dictate the pace the way he did. But that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, Alex like put his foot on the pedal and just like stayed in that range, like, and was kicking him a lot too. It was lead kicking him like so much, and just kept attacking, peppering him the whole time. And it just looked like, I don't know, by the end of the second, it just looked like Jose just wasn't there. He's like, man, this sucks.
What do you think, Jacob?
He's a hard fight for anyone, like Volkanovski, his style as well, because he pressures you and all that. He goes for the takedown.
And it's super strong. You take a shot.
Yeah, he's got a chin. He keeps coming forward. Even if he doesn't get the take, like, he doesn't like rely on getting the takedown as well. Like, he likes the dirty grappling against the cage and stuff. But I thought Aldo would win just because he does good against that type of style kind of thing. Like, he's fought all of them that style his whole life. Like,
yeah, he's fought a lot.
How many
of
times
other
did he
dudes
fight Frankie Edgar? Frankie Edgar, Chad Mendes.
Twice.
All them guys he did good against. All the wrestler guys, he was always like the kryptonite to them. But
yeah. You notice he didn't throw any big leg kicks.
He hasn't done that in his last couple. Like, he used to always chop the legs, but who knows what kind of injuries he's got.
What do you think of the fight?
I only got to see the replays. Sorry, I was away doing some drills, but I thought, Alex just outworked him. I think the same as what you were saying. It felt like Aldo didn't really want to be there. I sort of felt some people fight past that eagerness to win. You know what I mean? I think when you're a fighter, you sort of need to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder and you want to be the best. when you start to lose that and you're just doing it, do you know what I mean, for the love of it, you don't want to be the best, then maybe you need to start thinking of a different career or something.
How old is Aldo now anyway?
31, 32.
He's had a lot of wars.
Man, like, this is the thing. Like, he turned pro at, like, first of all, like, in no shape, way, or form am I saying, like, I think Volkanovski would have been a hard fight for Aldo in his best.
Yeah,
At his best time. Like,
fight.
it will always be a hard fight. The thing that I'm thinking about with Aldo is, like, the turning pro really, really young. You turned pro young as well. And having, like, all the fights that he's had and the wars that he's had. And also, I think, I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know what his sparring would have been like in his gym at the time, you know, like, it might have been very, very hard sparring, because, like, I don't think that the hard sparring and a fight are any different, really, in terms of trauma for your brain. So, I don't know. I thought Alex did, especially the third round, I think he was super smart with how he did it. He was very, very tactical and very, very, very smart. I think that the fact that he was able to hold him up against the cage, keep him there, legs. That's it. I haven't seen leg kicks from Aldo. I was expecting some leg kicks from Aldo, but there were no leg kicks from young Aldo.
I was expecting anything from Aldo, like any of his big shots. Like, he landed a couple of times, but he wasn't pulling the trigger like he does, especially against those pressure guys.
Well, it says here, total strikes. Alex landed 258 total strikes, and Aldo landed 78. Significant strikes, 190 from Volkanovski and 58 from Aldo. Nice. Yeah, and then you start to think, and then also, like, no takedowns were scored by either guy. So it was predominantly, like, Alex attempted 6 takedowns, Aldo attempted 2. No one got the takedowns. It was basically like a kickboxing kind of fight in a cage, and which you would have thought would have probably benefited Aldo,
Yeah,
and especially the way he fought Edgar that second time.
Yeah,
like I thought that would be sort of the approach you take to Alex, because you'd need that sort of approach. But like I said, I don't think he wasn't pulling the trigger on his dangerous moves, or maybe when he was landing, he wasn't getting the response he expected to get. I don't know. On Alex, he's actually, I don't know if they've let him back.
Well, but I texted Joe on that, like, yeah. he's one of his coaches or his coach, and yeah, he was in a pretty bad way in Brazil. It started off just with his foot, and then his feet were a little bit like off colored, a little bit red or something. And then it said they just spread over the time, and he got like a blood infection. They don't know if it started off like a staph or something. And when he got to Chile, he was messed up. Yeah, yes. I think I saw a video he posted up saying he's okay. He's not dying anymore. But that's scary, isn't it? Well, staph. I don't know if it was staph or not that he had. Do you know, Eli, if it was staph or? Okay, yeah. So we don't know if it was staph, but. Just, any sort of infection, like you've both had it, I've had it, staph infections. Do you want to talk about them? Because like that's pretty fucking, you pulled out of that fight with the Brockhold. It started off, you had staph near your bum. Can I tell that story? Because that's one of the best stories ever. No, you may not. Tell it. Can I tell it? No, you may not. I haven't heard it, please. I have to tell, let me tell the story. Come on, let me tell it, please. Come on, no. Bro. No. Come on, man. Let him. It was a staph infection. He had this staph infection, and it was on your bum. Do you want to tell it? Or I'm going to tell it. It was like on my tailbone. Do you want to tell the story? In the middle? I'm going to tell the story. And it then became chickenpox, right? Like the staph didn't become chickenpox. He then got chickenpox, but was the worst. But just the staph infection was bad. Like he was out and it was near his bum, and we went to the doctor. I was with him. And the manager, can I tell this? Please let me tell this. You're already telling it. You're not going to listen to me anyway. It was one of the worst things that I've fucking ever experienced. And I want to take this opportunity in this platform now to apologise for not being there for you. You still owe me money for that. It was so bad. I really let Rob down. We get to this doctor, and the doctor, I'm in the room still. Like I hadn't left. He didn't say to me, hey, do you want to leave? I'm standing next to Rob. And the doctor bent, like no bullshit. There's a little guy. He bends Rob over with one hand and pulls his pants down. Right? I'm telling you the truth. And he pulls his pants down. And I was like, I froze. I fucking sorry, I froze. And Rob was looking at me.
Sorry, I froze.
Rob was looking at me. I'm telling you the truth, man. This is a true story. And Rob was looking at me like, fucking help me, you know, like to help for him help me. And then the doctor stuck his fingers in his ass. I swear. I didn't
Did he do that?
Yeah.
He did. Ask him.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, and
You're
I'm,
watching.
dude,
Me and Fab were staring at each other.
he was
in
looking
our
at me
eyes.
like to help him. And then I just turned my back. Like he was over there, and I just turned my back and I was like playing with the curtain, you know? And I was like pretending that fucking shit wasn't happening. And I could hear Rob say, like this. And the doctor, I looked back, the doctor was fucking elbow deep. I'm telling you, it was so bad. Anyways, fucking long story short.
Wait. Let me just clarify. The story was embellished, and it
A little bit, bro.
It
Fuck.
didn't happen like
Elbow
that.
deep.
It wasn't elbow deep.
It didn't happen like that.
It wasn't elbow deep.
He bent him.
But-
He did. He fucking did.
But it was a good story.
Anyway, so that they did that, and then the guy said to Rob, "No, you don't have staph in your intestines. You just have staph on your bum."
We knew that already.
It was on my tailbone.
Which I could have told him that without sticking fucking my whole forearm in his ass. And then we thought, all right, cool. He's going to get through this. He's going to be able to fight. There's a lot of like psychological damage done at that point. But yeah, so he goes out, and then he got chicken pox, and that's when he pulled
That was
out.
worse. You haven't known torture until you've had chicken pox on your balls, mate.
Very bad, Rob.
It's terrible. It's like as a grown adult, it's like I don't know. If you've had chicken pox as like an adult, you know.
Have you ever had chicken pox as an adult? Yeah. As an adult? You had chicken pox as an adult?
Yeah, I had it as an adult.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I was around 20, 22 or something. It was
It's-
horrible.
What do you
unreal.
itchy? No.
It's itchy, but they become like blisters.
Yeah,
and they
they were really big in
they
that.
become blisters. They're not like little kid ones where they're just like red dots. Like they're super itchy still, but they become blisters and they hurt and you fever and then and you scar. Like the scarring lasts for
What did you
ever.
do with all the like when you were itchy?
Me,
Did you scratch them? Or you couldn't scratch them.
some like it depends. Like on a place, not my face. I try my best not to scratch my face. But like if it was like a place where I was like under my roofs, I was like, no one's ever going to see that. I was like, fucking, like, or behind my legs, like no one's going to see there. Scratch the hell out of it.
How'd you deal with it?
I think it was like maybe around 36 hours of just it was the worst. I didn't know what it was. I remember I was just, the same thing. He said fever, hot and cold sweats, but just the itchiness sort of thing. I think I even tried to like lay in the bath to try to like not scratch. So there was something
How good's
else.
the shower?
Yeah, or just anything. Do you know
You
what I
just
mean?
turn
It
the
was-
shower on, you stand there, and it's like itching you for you. It's
Scratching you.
scratching you for
Yeah.
you, and it's just the best.
How bad? You've had staph bad, eh?
Yeah. Well, there was one I had for like 3 weeks. It wouldn't go. I remember the doctor gave me like 5-6 courses of antibiotics. Just kept giving them to me.
I like
Became
how,
immune to them.
you know, people come, like they start training and like, you know, you bump into someone, you're like, dude, that's staph, you know, and they go, no, I went to the doctor and the doctor said it's okay. And he gave me a cream or some shit. And I think like, no, it's fucking staph. Get off the mat.
I'd like to say something on that matter. I don't think doctors treat potential staph properly, because there are sometimes I've been to some doctors where they're like, could be, take this. Like,
Yeah, they're all like
that's
that.
it. You go away,
Doctor-
and it's like,
And you
you,
gotta have a roll.
yeah, no, you're off the mats because you don't want to pass it on, but it's not staph. It's
Yeah,
like
but on that
like an
count-
ingrown hair, and you're taking like hardcore antibiotics,
Yeah.
and then there's other times like you should be testing for it. You should be testing for it. You should be
Swabs.
treating it. Like, yeah, it's just.
Yeah, and the other thing is like people like when they train, you know, and they go, "Oh, I didn't know it was staph," and I think like, you got a fucking golf ball on your arm, dude. Like, what the fuck?
No, it sounds it.
You were you born like that? No, you weren't. Like it came up. Like don't to go on the mats. It's disgusting. It's horrible, and it's very very fucking painful. On this one, both of you guys are middleweights.
Yes.
How far off is Jacob from being UFC level?
Oh, he's ready now.
And what
winning.
about the other one, Izzy Fitikefu?
Yeah.
3 feet of thunder.
Yeah, but
I just had that for.
like Jacob, my team's ready for the UFC. You know, hopefully when the UFC comes here in October, we can all get on the same card, have a party of it. You know, it'll be something special, I'm sure.
What do you think of this Jared Cannonier versus Anderson Silva fight?
Well, this was Anderson's swan song, wasn't it? Like,
You know what? That's another thing. Like I don't know if it's over for him, but he my feet touched his feet. I don't know if it's over for him, but he's certainly talking like that. Like, and so was Aldo, and so
the whole thing was he was saying the UFC, I want my last fight in Rio, in my hometown. Let's make it happen, please, UFC. And well, there you go. You got it.
So
Rest
what?
Now.
What do you think about the fight?
His age caught up to
Just
him.
old, man.
His age caught up to him.
What do you think of Cannonier? Cannonier is not young. He's like 34, 35.
It's much younger than Anderson.
True that. 100%.
No, he hasn't nowhere near as many fights as Anderson.
Yeah.
At
No,
that
no.
level as well.
No.
Anderson's fought at that high level for so long.
But he fought smart. He was smashing that leg.
Yeah.
Like, he was smashing that leg.
How do you see Cannonier in that division?
He's gonna be trouble for anyone. He's a powerful guy. Like he's trouble.
What do you think?
Intimidating guy.
He is an
He's
intimidating.
looking at me.
He's
Stop looking at me. Relax.
What do you think about his performance, Jacob?
He's good, man. Like he's very powerful, but he's smart. He didn't just run in against Silva either. You know, he was chopping his leg, kept chopping it.
Yeah.
He found a little bit of success with it. And he just kept doing it. It worked for him.
Namajunas versus Andrade. What do you guys think of that?
Well,
did you see that thing where they said that she tapped? Did she tap,
Nah, probably not.
Eli?
I don't know why you tap in the air.
I have seen it, and it didn't look like she had a submission on. She had the lock on,
Yeah.
but not. Do you know what I mean? Her arms were still in front of her, clenched like that, and then it. I don't know.
Tap in the air.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. The whole thing was weird. Like, I don't know why she would tap holding the woman above her head at that point. Like, I don't think so. I think she was just trying to get
Scroll it
better
up.
grips. But
Thanks, mate.
Rose was winning. Rose was
was
winning.
good.
Yeah, she was doing really well. And then, you know, Jessica just
She's
like,
a
in the second
strong
round
little
was
unit,
walking
eh?
through shots. She was walking through shots to push up against the fence. She was doing that. She was trying to implement that game a lot in that second round. And then she got it. Rose locked on the Kimura. And Jess just lifted her up in the air and did what her name implies. You're a mess. Yeah,
I really have a mess. I missed my mouth completely.
I think her name means sledgehammer, doesn't it? Or something like
I
that.
don't know.
Pile driver or something like that.
How bad was that slam?
Never going for Kimura standing ever again.
Fuck.
No.
Never.
Dude, I thought she
Let
broke
it
her
go.
neck.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Early.
And here's the thing with that, like she was talking about she didn't want to fight no more probably after this.
Yeah.
So you got like 4 or 5 people on that card that were like halfway out already.
She's young too, Rose?
Yeah.
From what I've heard of her, but like every time she speaks in interviews and stuff, she doesn't really seem like a cold-blooded killer. You know what I mean?
No, but there's a difference between that and saying, I don't know that I want to do this anymore, I'm not having fun.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, she said something along those. I'm paraphrasing a tad, but she said something along those lines. And here's a question then I have for you guys that are fighting. And you're like, how old are you, Jacob?
23.
And you're 28.
Yes.
And you know you've only had a few fights and you're coming up, and you used to fight in the UFC.
Me?
Yeah, you haven't fought in ages, really.
Wow. It's been how long has it been?
You
A
broke
year.
the record for the most undefended belt.
I'm sorry.
In fairness, it was a technicality because Romero didn't make the weight. Had he have made weight, then you wouldn't even have that record. So, you know,
I'm just here sitting here smashing.
So he's actually got the record.
yeah.
Because they didn't count the Romero fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just smashing records. over here.
Doesn't
Why
count,
would you count that fight? That was,
Doesn't count.
No, how long has it been since I fought? Like a year, just over a year.
nah, just under a year. You fought in June.
July,
June or
It wasn't
July.
that long.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, not even a year. She That was her first fight back in a year and a bit.
Was it?
Yeah, because she got injured. Ever since she fought, we were actually in New York when she fought.
That's right. Yeah. We were at
the first time or the second time.
I can't remember.
Was it both? Were we there both times?
Might have been both times. Because I think I've seen her fight like live twice.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen her fight twice.
Yeah. So when...
Yeah, you know what? The first time I was in New York with Sophia. Second time I was in New York with you. And
I can see how you'd get us mixed up.
No, but I don't know. But yeah, it's not that long. So sorry. Where were we going with this?
No, well, I was just going to ask you, when you have that thing though, like when you have a thing where you're not sure that you want to fight, how does that work? Or doesn't work?
It doesn't. I think it's different for me because I'm still hungry. I'm still coming up, kind of. But like these guys, they already got the belt and stuff. Probably it's more relatable for him.
I don't know. Fighting's tiring. When you've had a lot of fights, like I'm starting to rack up fights now, and it's everything. It's all the crap around it as well. It gets tiring. It gets very tiring. Just having to deal with stuff, deal with injuries, deal with like potential fights, and then what's even annoying is just like dealing with everybody going, "Hey man, you ready for your fight? Hey man,
That's
you ready for your fight?" It's like,
oh, no, I'm not. I'm petrified of the man.
no, but you see, like the first and second time it annoys you, the third time it annoys you, the 20-something time you're just like, oh, yes.
You
I'm
ready? You ready? Nah.
Oh, man. I just came back.
How you feeling for your fight?
Yeah.
And it's not the people's fault. They're going to ask you
They
that.
gotta ask you.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I'm never rude because it's I'm never rude about it either. But it's just one more thing you have to think about. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Hey,
It's tiring work.
It's a double-edged sword as well. I think it's easier for people that have stuff outside of their life to move on after fighting, but it's harder for those people to stay. Once you've won, like say she's won the belt, financially she knows what the financial gifts are of having the belt, but you're very much aware of the damage that you can take in the fights, and you're aware of all that stuff, and you're also aware that you can have a whole totally different life outside of fighting, and she's got that. Then the lure of staying in fighting becomes more difficult, and the ability to move on from fighting is easier. There are some dudes that don't seem to have that. They seem to have their whole identity is fighting, and so they're able to stay fighting longer, but their ability to move on in life is hard.
You'd have to say like the majority of combat athletes is in that bracket of they identify themselves as what they do.
You see that with people that achieve shit all the time. Like you see dudes that like I was talking to Pat Farmer yesterday about it, and he was talking about like guys that come back from the Olympics and they won a gold medal, and they get massive depression and everything because they achieved everything their whole life. Everything was like winning this gold medal, and then you win the gold medal, and then like, fuck, now what do I do? Yeah. And you're only 20, 21 years old. Heaps of times that happens to people.
That's what happened to Fury. Tyson Fury went to depression, because his whole life was about beating Klitschko. He was saying, I want to beat Klitschko for the title, beat him, and he beat him, and just went through depression bad.
Yeah, I think I'm fortunate in that sense. Like my whole thing was never to get the belt. Like I was never like the biggest thing driving me. I just like beating people, like winning, and that's my biggest driver to fighting. So I didn't have that like depression from achieving what I wanted. I was fortunate that way. Other problems that come with that as well. Like let's not say, I skipped everything. No, there are other problems that come with that, like mental problems that come with getting the title and whatnot. But that just wasn't one of them for me.
What did you guys watch the fights on the weekend during the middle of the week? The boxing?
Hodges.
You're a boxing aficionado.
Hey, of the three of us here, only one of us is a pro boxer.
What about Eli, the four of us?
Eli's a good boxer.
You pro boxer?
No.
Just one.
How many amateurs you have?
It was only 12.
school, 12. That's good.
He's not pro,
I
man.
only had 2.
He's not pro.
Shut up, man. Leave me alone.
Pro.
Tell me, what was
I
your
was rushed into pro. I shouldn't be pro. I should still be amateur now.
Tell me, what was your favorite fight on the card?
Which one? Justin Hodges.
Let's talk about Justin Hodges because we're there now.
Now, you know what everyone's skipping?
What?
Is that the guy he fought at the weigh-in was wearing Bronco shorts.
Bronx Nation.
Bronco shorts.
Hashtag Bronx Nation. Shout out to
He's wearing
Anthony
Bronco
Seibold.
shorts.
Anthony Seibold coached his boxing.
Can we
Shout out to Anthony Seibold.
Can we get that card up though? So there's some other good fights on there too, but I can't remember the names. That fight, and this has nothing on Justin Hodges because I have no like. This isn't anything about him, but the guy he fought should not have been there. He was a dude that said, hey man, here's a line to fucking Burger King. Jump in it. And then when he jumped in it, someone put gloves on him and then walked him out.
How'd they give him the license to fight that guy? He shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, here's an interesting
That's the
thing.
thing.
Here's an interesting thing. When you had your second MMA fight, because you'd only had one MMA fight, remember the commission, the Australian Sports Commission, or the Australian Combat Sports Commission, whatever, I fucked up the acronym.
I remember.
Yeah, but they were going to stop the fight.
What was
Credit to them for doing their homework, at least to the point that they said, you know what, Jacob's only had one fight, the other dudes had 7 fights.
Well, I think it was like 10. I think.
Yeah, 10 fights or whatever. We can't sanction this.
Yeah.
But Justin Hodges has only had one fight.
Yeah,
and
but
the other guy's probably only had one
But
fight.
you know who that guy is.
one of those two dudes looks like an athlete. Like,
It was Justin Hodges.
You know what the worst part about it was? It wasn't like a dude that hadn't boxed in 30 years and let himself go. But
I don't
boxed
think
when
the
he was
guy had
younger.
boxed, eh?
That guy he was out of shape. Like it doesn't look like he's done anything. Period. But then he didn't know how to box either.
No.
He couldn't box and he wasn't athletic.
What do you think that does for like Australian? That's the fight card there thing. If you go up,
No
there.
more harm than good.
Yeah. There. Like
Everyone-
it looks bad, eh? It looks like a joke.
Yeah.
Nothing's if he wants to find like an easy fight for say his
but
first or
That's
second.
it. That's it.
How much
Thanks,
do you,
mate.
how much do you think it was Justin Hodges setting it up
That's
to
what I'm
opposed
saying.
to
I
like
don't
the promoters and everything, managers and all that sort of stuff? Because I think if Justin Hodges actually looked it up, he would have been like, "Nah, I can't fight this guy."
Yeah, I don't know Justin Hodges, but
Surely.
But
I hope he would say that.
What's he get out of this? Like fighting someone like that? No, I don't understand. Like, all right, if you find someone to pad your record a little bit,
He gets
maybe.
paid.
how much money you reckon
Yeah,
he would have got paid?
How much is
I think they were saying he got in between 15 to 20,000.
Justin Hodges.
Yeah.
How much did the guy that he assaulted get?
It would have been 5. I reckon around 5 grand, maybe less.
You
4.
reckon they paid him?
Could you
5
put?
grand?
Could you put?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't want to talk about that.
What?
Like, could you put bets on that?
Yeah,
I think he could have bet on it.
He put 50 grand on himself.
Yeah, but you would have won $100.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
You
odds
would have been
would be
paying.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have to even that up. They would have to give the guy a machete or something. And Justin Hodges would have to be blindfolded.
They actually said he's had 2 amateur fights.
But maybe in the 60s.
Yeah. He was 12.
That was bad. That dude had no place being in there. I think it does discredit the sport itself.
Do you think it discredits combat sports in general, like MMA as well?
Nah, there's a pretty big division in the sports when it comes to that. Like obviously, your combat sports fans and like appreciators are gonna feel it a little bit, but I think in terms of like the mainstream eyes, like MMA and boxing, although they're both combat sports, they're very separated in their fields as well as their like target market for viewers.
I have a question. It's hard for you to get fights, right? With all due respect to anyone, not that people are scared, but people. It's been hard to get fights.
scared.
More MMA than boxing. Though.
Yeah, but it's been hard to get fights. In period. Why can't you? Did anyone call you about taking that fight with Justin Hodges?
I'll take it.
Would you fight Justin Hodges?
Yeah.
Would you fight Troy McMahon?
Nah. No way.
Would you fight Justin Hodges and Troy McMahon?
How much?
10 grand.
Yes.
Both at the same time?
Maybe not. I don't. Nah, you wouldn't do that. Nah, stupid.
No, you could just
He
ignore,
might-
you could
yeah,
ignore one. Just focus on the other.
Nah, I'll take it.
It's like when we play basketball and James is playing. Like you just
Oh,
pretend
you're
you-
playing.
Oh,
Nah, he's gone better actually. He's gone better.
I don't know.
Oh, not that good.
It couldn't have got worse, I'll tell you that.
James is trash, bro. I actually get annoyed when he's on my team. I look at him.
Shout out to James.
James Vanderakis.
You're trash.
He's not. He's a good guy, terrible basketball player. Good guy, terrible basketball player.
Good guy.
But okay, so Justin Hodge is a fight that you would do.
Yeah.
Okay, why can't, like, I'm just curious. I'm just curious how they got that Troy McMahon to take the fight, because you can't get fights. Like, why didn't somebody ask you for that fight? Can we put that out there that you will take that fight next? That'll be your third fight. That'll be what, his second.
Yeah, perfect.
That seems like a good match.
That'd be Justin Hodge's third fight, yeah?
Oh, is it Justin Hodge's third fight?
That was his second professional fight.
Okay, so then it'll be Jacob's
3 apiece.
3 and 3.
3 and 3.
Yeah.
And Justin Hodge is a way better football player than you.
Heaps better.
So
How about, man, back in my day,
back in the day,
he's have a good offload.
well, were you like one of those kids that was like 120 kilos in year 8?
Not 120. It was about 100.
Wait, what about Ross Pearson, ex UFC?
Yeah. Did you watch that,
Lightweight?
Eli?
I got to see the highlights again,
Made his
and he did right.
pro boxing debut in the event.
Just
And,
on bombs, eh? Saw some highlights of that.
you know what? I always, when I was watching,
He always had good boxing.
when I was watching Ross fight in the UFC, I always thought, you know what, you would be a better boxer. Like I think that's just, it suits you more. Like opposed.
What
to,
made you think that?
He's just got clean, crisp striking, clean, crisp boxing, and stylistically, the way he fights is box. Like in a lot of his MMA fights, he looks like he's boxing in an MMA fight. To be honest, like, and
He's a nice guy too, that guy.
yeah, top bloke, and lives in Australia. So there's that.
I think a lot of the guys from the UK that fight MMA, they're pretty much
I
a lot of
think
them really do have
came
good
up through
hands.
The same gym, that same boxing.
But do you know what I mean? I think they focus a little bit more on their boxing skills and what they do.
Yeah.
Perhaps their Muay Thai or something like
But
that.
no, that was a good win for him. Good for him. I'm glad he found his place. He said he found his place. He's another dude who left the UFC pretty early. Like started going downhill a little bit and decided to change things up, leave, and jump into another sport. Like
Well, it's good that he did it when he's like still young enough to actually probably have a
do
good
it.
crack. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked comfortable as well.
Yeah.
You see him, he was comfortable.
He looks great, and I'm really happy he got that win, and I'm very interested to see how far he takes it.
What do you think? You both spar with Jaya Patea.
Yeah,
What do you think of his fight? And what's it like sparring him?
Hard spar.
yeah, that's why he's very good at what he
He's
does.
a southpaw as well.
Do you let him know that you're the best grappler in Asia and that at any moment
I could take him
you
down.
could put him
I
in
told
a
him.
joint lock manipulation or a choke?
I don't know, man. Hard
Taking
left
the
hand.
air out of his
When he
airways.
loses control.
When he hits you in your head, do you go, "Well, this was MMA."
Whole time. From the beginning to the
If
end.
we could take down, I'd be all over you, bro. Don't even know it.
He's good striking, but
How good is he?
Nah, he's very good.
He's top grade. There was a lot of comments thrown around saying Jai's the next big thing.
I think they're late with that one.
Yeah,
'Cause he's pretty much...
he's been great for a long time. Well, not great, but he's been very good, and he's
Good
always
guy
been
too.
there.
Yeah, he's lovely.
Top
But-
Dad's a good bloke too.
What's the... When you guys spar, like he's long...
long reaching, great
southpaw.
outside boxer.
Yeah, so talk a little bit about that. Like what it's like when you spar him.
Well, it's hard. Well, when I sparred him a couple of weeks ago, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Started 5-6 rounds. I
And
think.
lead up for this actually.
Yeah, you were in the lead up, yeah.
It was a hard. He's got like good. He cuts you off with that southpaw position all the time. Lands that straight left all the time. But he just he makes you hesitate a little bit with his movements. Like he does these little subtle posture changes and stuff.
He's very technical, and he hits like a truck.
Yeah. And then when you get on the inside as well, he's not like, oh shit, I'm on the inside. He's good on the inside too. Like he likes the distance, but when you get in, he can catches your punches and throws back. And he hits hard. He's big guy too. He was like the same weight as me. He was massive. Big and long.
What do you think? What do you think of that, Eli?
The Jai one?
Yeah.
Again, I only got to watch the replays. I didn't get to watch it live, but I thought the other guy did really well as well. Usually Jai's put him out pretty early, yeah. It wasn't until the 8th round, which it was only an 8-round fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I thought that Jai controlled it the whole time.
Yeah, he
Like
did.
Jai-
He had it won the whole time, but
the guy took a lot of shots.
yeah,
He was a
for
late
sure.
replacement, that guy.
Was he?
Was he?
Because I think the first guy pulled out. 3 days notice, he got visa problem. Had visa issues. The guy who was supposed to
3
fight.
days out. So it was
Yeah.
a 3 day
Yeah.
ring-in.
And he
How do you, but where was the other guy from that he was meant to fight?
I don't know. Hey. Justin was telling me at the gym.
Because if it's 3 days out, that means like, well, he wasn't going to
I don't know.
even
That's
get here early for the
what I
fight.
heard.
Like you,
I heard that. But then he was sparring. I think.
no, but seriously, you know what I mean?
Apparently, he was looking after him, and like he looked. That's what it looked like. Like he in the beginning, he's like landed big shots.
Jai did.
Yeah, and the guy was like dazed, and I think he just started picking him apart. It's like
Yeah, because
they threw a towel in the corner.
Yeah, it wasn't like a stoppage. Well, it was, but it wasn't like they threw the towel in.
I saw Jai land some bombs on that dude, like some shots, you know. Credit to that guy because he took them. Here's a question. Did Tim Tszyu, when he fought Joel Camilleri, what do you guys think of that? And what do you think, is it going to be Tim Tszyu and Jeff Horn? Do you think Jeff Horn should take that fight?
I think Jeff Horn kind of has to after that last fight. But I thought
Well,
Joel,
he beat Mundine.
Yeah.
The one before, who did he fought? Crawford.
Crawford,
before.
yeah,
Everyone
Crawford.
loses to Crawford, but
Yeah.
I thought Joel was winning early against Tim.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I thought. Not winning like not like it wasn't like a landslide the first round. I just thought they were his better rounds, and then Tim started taking it away from him later on, and then like even like in the late rounds, Joel was still trying to make it seem like he was winning the rounds, but Tim was just landing clean shots the whole time.
Do you think he should take the fight? That Jeff Horn should take the fight with him, or should chase more fights overseas?
because Tim Tszyu is a hard fight. He's young, hungry. Jeff Horn probably like just wants the money now, doesn't he? Like money fights. I don't know.
You ask me like that,
but like
doesn't he?
But if he's fighting, like, you know what I mean? He's fighting Crawford. He's fought Mundine.
How old's
He's
Jeff
fighting
Horn now?
I think he's still young. I don't think he's...
I think he would be looking for like because he's
the big
fought all
fights, big money fights.
But that was a good fight. But that guy was a lot of movement in the first 4 or 5 rounds. Kept moving, put him off. But then when Tim Tszyu found his range, it was just picked him apart after that.
What do you think, Eli?
No, I think Tim did really well. Just he's got that boxing brain, and he's coming up really quick. He's come up so quick. I don't think him and Horn should go now. I think he should be still trying to sharpen his tools and that, maybe get over to the States, get on some of them undercards and that over there, get a little bit more known in Australia and that as well before they try to make it a big fight. Like you said, I think Horn is still looking for money fights. But after that Crawford fight, I don't know how interested the US public are, do you know what I mean? Want him to fight anyone over there. I don't think anyone in the US or who's in that ranking would be looking at him going, oh yeah, that'll be a good fight. I can't see. So I think Horn would be wanting that fight a little bit more than what Tim would.
How do you think about what do you think the US market would say about Jacob Malkoun versus Troy McMahon?
Big fight.
He could be big over there, Troy McMahon.
Big fight.
I would pay a pay-per-view.
I would too. I'd pay the pay-per-view. And then like, so in closing with this card, Jacob, is it official that you would like that third fight with Justin Hodges?
I don't mind. Yeah.
There we
I'm
go.
not gonna call him out, but
Well, it's too late, mate. You
just did it.
You just talked yourself into a fight, young man.
you talked me into a fight. No, but yeah, of course I'll fight him. But I need fights anyway. I think I got one booked. But I want to fight him. I'll fight anyone. Not except Joy.
I don't want to fight Jai.
Fight anyone, but I don't want Joy.
Or Troy McMahon.
Nah, not Troy McMahon. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
He's dangerous, man. He's got that big overhand.
The guy's still laying there on the canvas.
I feel sorry for him, man. I feel sorry for him because I don't think they should have let him fight. Like,
Was he? Do you think he was actually out, or like he was out? You reckon, or he took a dive kind of?
have we got the fight there? Is that the fight there?
Practically.
He's on his face, mate. He's out. He's out.
Let me see the fight. I'll tell you. I've seen the fight, but I'm curious because like a couple of shots look like they didn't fully land. I just don't understand how they sanctioned that fight. Like it looked like Justin Hodges was there with his little brother.
Look at the size of Justin's arms, mate.
It looks like he's a fan of
He
him.
hit him. He hit him.
He's a big guy there, Justin.
That guy can't even box, man.
Nah, he can box.
Oh, Jesus, man. This is so
He's looking at
bad.
the ref. He's like, oh no. Man, oh, no, he actually hit him.
Stop the fight. Fucking stop the fight.
He's upset as well. He's actually upset. Now you know what, but
Justin Hodges is a big guy.
surely Justin Hodges didn't want to do that fight. I don't think
he wanted to
you know what?
either.
I don't think he wanted that.
You know, Justin Hodges doesn't look like a bad guy. He looks
I don't think he's the guy who's gonna say, "I want the easiest fight I can get." I don't think he said that. I trust him.
That's so wrong.
You trust him? I trust him. I reckon he's a late replacement. Let's just give it to him. Good work, man.
Oh, what's he gonna do? He has to bash him.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He looked at the ref. He's like, look at him.
What weight did they fight at, Eli?
Not probably 98, 100.
All right, fuck. Please
Had
take
to
it.
be in
Let's not
heavyweight.
replay that.
Would have had to be in heavyweight.
Poor guy, man.
Let's move right along to tomorrow's card. And let's start with this guy I'm a fan of. I'm going to say his name wrong. Oh, go down one. This is a rematch? Charles Oliveira versus Nick Lentz. They've had a fight before.
Who won the first one?
Charles. I'm sure they fought. Can you see if they fought? Can you check?
Imagine how hard that guy would be to roll. Charles Oliveira.
Mate, he's
Long.
very, very good, man.
Long guy.
He's a very, very good grappler. Who you got in that?
Charles.
Man, when he's on, he's on.
I reckon
And then
Charles
sometimes he fights and he's not that on.
I don't know how he
wanna
made featherweight. He made featherweight at one stage, eh? Charles.
He's literally my size.
Exactly.
Same
Yeah.
build. Same
Yeah,
build.
same. Look,
Yes.
I'm serious. And he made featherweight. I'm just looking to see if they fought
Is
before.
Nick Lentz is from that Henry Hooves gym, eh?
I don't know, but I'm just trying to see if I got this feeling that they fought before.
Man, they both got a lot of fights, those guys, eh?
Give me 1 second. Yeah, they did. He did fight before, and he guillotined him. Charles Oliveira guillotined him.
Long arms.
He's got a great guillotine, that guy.
And dasses too.
Look at the size of that guy. The thumbnail there.
He looks big there.
Oh no.
In the thumbnail.
Click the next one. No. Davey Ramos. I just want to see his picture.
Davey Ramos.
Davey Ramos. Show me his picture. Look at that big guy.
He looks like Harry.
What weight
Looks
division?
massive.
What weight division is that? That's 155.
He's 5'6". Shorty,
155.
he's a tank.
That's lightweight, isn't it?
But he's 5'6", but he's short.
In this main event tomorrow, who do you see winning, Rafael dos Anjos or Kevin Lee?
It depends what Rafael dos Anjos shows up. He's had a lot of problems with dudes that like spam takedowns on him.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of problems with that. Like
You know what? That's
a lot of his losses are dudes that just spam takedowns on him, slow him down, gas him out. They get him down and then they keep him down. And Kevin Lee is known for a spam or two.
Yeah, he's a big guy too, man.
He can spam with the best of them.
He's still got the scar of the staph on his
I
pec.
know.
It's a tattoo now.
He's moved up now, but to
This fight's at welterweight.
He's gonna be huge.
These guys are welterweights.
He's gonna be so big.
Yeah,
Because he was big at lightweight.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see him tomorrow. He's gonna be so big.
he's gonna be jacked, man. He's gonna be fucking
Los
massive.
Angeles, man, they don't give him any breaks, but they just give him
It's
hard
all hard
five-round
fights.
The
Usman,
problem
Colby.
is, look where he is though. He's number 3. There are
Yeah.
no easy fights to be had. It's like there's no
Is he still
McMahon's.
has he lost two in a row?
That's I didn't want to say it.
There's no McMahon's in.
Has he
the
lost
top
2 in
10.
a row? Has he lost 2 in a row now?
He
He's
lost
still
to
third.
He lost to Kamaru Usman, who's a champion,
Colby.
and Colby, who's the interim champ.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
but I think he's out of the rankings at the moment because he hasn't fought for so long.
Who?
Colby.
Yeah, but that's who his two
But that's
losses
probably
were.
why he's
yeah,
3.
And he fought.
Yeah, like-
he beat Robbie Lawler.
man, the
at that time.
people he loses to. Only,
Yeah, I
like,
know. But
Good.
Always 5-round
There's
wars.
no Troy McMahon.
Nah.
No.
5-round wars. The poor guy. Every fight, 5-round war.
What do you think this one?
Antonio-
I can't say his name. Ian Heinisch versus Antonio Carlos Jr. His jiu-jitsu's unreal, that guy, and Antonio Carlos Jr. But
Yeah, phenomenal.
shout out to Dan Kelly. Dan Kelly beat him.
I don't know how Dan Kelly did it, to be honest.
We were there ringside.
I know, and I still don't know how he
Was it a
did
stand-up fight?
Nah. Dan Kelly spent like every second of every round on his back defending rear nakeds.
Like shout out to Gustavo too. Gustavo Falsaroli. He's
Whole time.
he's Dan Kelly's jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
coach, and he was like yelling out like doing a seminar from like defend it like this, say do this, do da 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 da.
Yeah, Antonio had like the body triangle, which is hitting him every round. Like
And how did Daniel Kelly win?
Daniel Kelly eventually got out and then
Got on top and half
top and bashed him. But since that fight, he's had like 7 consecutive wins or something like that.
It's crazy, man.
Like, and most of them are rear naked chokes.
What do you think of the Australian here, Megan Anderson?
She's
Felicia
big,
Smith?
eh?
I think Megan
massive.
Anderson is a problem for everyone. I think Holly Holm was very smart to take her down that fight, but I think Megan is
She's like a proper
she's a
big person.
I think
She's like
she's
20
gonna.
pounds.
I think she's gonna kill everyone.
I don't know, dude, but I think did we see her? Did we see a life cutout thing of her or some shit?
I've met her a
Vegas.
bunch of times.
And she's
in
big,
Chicago. We
we met her. That's
She
right.
bigger than
Yeah.
you?
Nah, she'd be
Like
like
taller?
me. No, she'd be like me.
Well, she's the same height as me. No, she's 6 foot.
She's taller than Rob then.
No, she's not.
You're 5'11".
If that, most.
No.
This guy's good, man. I don't know Derek Krantz a lot. I lie. I've seen this guy fight, the Derek Krantz guy. He's very good. But I'm a big fan of Vicente Luque. We saw this guy in Vegas. Remember, he was training there when you were doing the show. That was... You remember he was doing... Yeah, he was there. Well, I'm pretty sure it was him, and we spoke
You
to
don't
him.
know him. He's a silent assassin.
No.
That's what
He spoke this guy to us. But he's good, man. Have you seen this guy fight?
No, never.
Good fighter, man.
He's very good. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was also on the show when they were the Blackzilians and when they were in the UFC
and
house.
the American top team.
He's really good.
Did he win?
I think he did, didn't he?
I-
Or did injury get him out?
I don't
Doesn't
know.
matter for us. Welterweight doesn't matter for
Nah,
us.
this guy's good. This guy is very, very, very good. All right, well, that's the fights, I suppose. Do you want to tell us, Jacob, what's up next for you when you're fighting? What's happening?
Competition's coming up, perhaps.
I got a boxing fight in July 20 something, 24th I think. And we got that grappling comp.
You're nationals next week for wrestling.
Oh yeah, wrestling as well. Got that one next week. We got
Then you got the golden boots.
Golden boots, wrestling.
grappling.
just competing.
We were going to say
everything.
that. Like, one of us is going to go to the lower weight division.
Do you want to cut to 74 kilos?
No,
74.
it's 94.
For what? What are you talking about?
Golden boots.
Oh, it's 98 and 94.
No, yeah. Because it's 92 with the 2 kilo weight allowance.
I'll do
And what's the other one?
97 with the 2 kilo weight allowance. And it's the day before Wayne's.
I can do 94.
I'm going to compete at 77.
Do it, man. You can make it easy.
If you can dream it, you can believe it. Is that
Yeah.
the saying?
So you got any MMA fights?
It's been hard to find MMA fights, man. Last year I had like 6 pullouts.
You had 6 people pull out.
6 or 5 or 4, something like that. Just kept pulling it. No, sometimes it wasn't the pullout, sometimes the card would stop. I don't know.
The
The card would just shut down.
What happened that time you were going to fight Didier?
Canberra. We went to the weigh-in and they had these like shitty scale and like there was no one there and I'm like, and there's like 4 fights going on. I'm thinking, nah, this card, something's wrong. I weigh myself. The promoter goes for like an hour and he comes back. He goes, "Oh, the card's cancelled."
After you weighed in, after you cut weight?
After I weighed.
And Didier's a big guy too, so
Yeah.
he would have enjoyed that weight cut for
He
nothing.
was already raging, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he didn't make the. He was like 200 grams over. Well, like you have to make it, man.
As you should.
He's like, nah.
That's crazy. You're like cursed.
No.
So you haven't, it's been really, really hard for you to get fights.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Is it easier for you to get the boxing fights, you reckon?
I think it's easier for boxing, but you got to find. Justin's kind of finding like the proper fights for me. Doesn't want to go too experienced, but not too like no good. Trying to find good fights for good experience. I think the MMA, not only because we train with like the camp and stuff, the team. It's more that I think more than me personally, you know. It's just hard. I don't know. Maybe it's both. Wouldn't have helped like that last fight, like first round and stuff. Wouldn't have helped to find fights, but I don't know. It's not good.
And now that you're the best grappler that's ever been Asian,
It's just going to get harder for you, mate. The road just gets harder.
You got that LA in September.
oh yeah, the Abu
But
Dhabi.
yeah, Abu Dhabi.
Gordon Ryan first half. Aggression to win.
Just beat him with aggression.
Oh yeah, because you have to go in that 96 kilos. Eh?
yeah.
Just beat him with aggression.
That Vinny Magalesh is in it.
Aggression.
What rank are you in jiu-jitsu?
I think the Asian one's like the lowest one. Oh, right. Purple belt.
You're a purple belt. You're doing the Alex Prates black belt program.
Yeah, it's 27 years to get a black belt.
You're guaranteed to get it in 27 years or more.
Or more. And
Yeah.
nothing less.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much you train, 27 years.
That's excellent. good standard.
So long.
That's what it said.
It should be that. It should be.
100%.
So long.
100%.
You've been. So you're teaching there. You've been there for a whole bunch, and you've been at purple belt for a while.
Been purple now.
Now you won Abu Dhabi trials, Asian trials.
I got it purple in October or December. Yeah, November.
So really, you're a blue belt.
Blue belt still.
You're basically a blue belt.
Blue
You're
belt.
basically a blue belt.
4 stripe.
All right. Excellent. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Guys, thank you for watching. Mum, thanks for watching, for being our viewer. And
And my dad.
the dad,
Thanks
Big
watching,
Jack,
Dad.
our sponsor. And thank you very much, guys. Steve, I know you're watching. That's the 3 people I know for sure. Watching.
Shout outs to Steve, my brother,
Chili chips.
who's eating my chips, watching the podcast.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care. See you next week.
Next week, next Tuesday.